Hello, we are back. I've got my tea, and we are going to watch some more Church of Blow, starting with Ishmael's favorite episode, The Ceremony.
Hi, I'm Reverend Cornelius Blow. Welcome to my church, where today we're going to be doing something a little different from the regular sermons. This is a first for the Church of Blow, possibly a first for YouTube, probably a first for the world. You see, I've had a request, and not the usual sort of request either. No, I'm not doing that. It's sinful, it'd be painful, and I ain't that flexible. Two users who don't want to be identifiable to the world at large, so they've asked me to use their real names instead of their usernames, have asked me to do them a little service. So I'll be calling them Jennifer Ann Smedley and Aaron Sachs. Seems Jennifer Ann and Aaron met in some Doctor Who internet forum some weeks back, and they knew it was true love when they both spoke up for the talents of actor Sylvester McCoy in a thread about who was the best Doctor, despite all the flames from other Whovians. I have no idea what that might mean, but I'm happy to marry these kids. They'd like their wedding to be performed in a style in keeping with their courtship, so they'd like to be wed on the internet very quickly in a half-assed sort of way that makes other folk think they're crazy. Well, truly, that's beautiful. And heck, love can make you crazy. So I hear. I don't know anything about that. So Jennifer Ann, Aaron, if you're ready. I don't think they're in the same place, by the way. Jennifer Ann's in, where is it now? Tunbridge Wells in jolly old England. And Aaron, Aaron's a Louisiana boy. Apparently they're hoping to meet up after the ceremony once Aaron saves up enough money from his pyramid selling to pay for the flight. Ain't that sweet? So Jennifer Ann, Aaron, I must remind you that marriage is a solemn affair not to be entered into lightly, etc., etc., etc. And what what Providence puts together ain't no man can pull asunder. If there's anyone gathered here today who knows of any lawful impediment to these two getting hitched, should speak now or forever hold your peace. Yes. Okie dokie then. Jennifer Ann Smedley, do you take this man to be your unlawfully wedded husband? Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish him? And never speak of the Doctor Who episode with the Bertie Bassett style monster in it, so long as you both shall have broadband? Aaron, no middle name, Sachs, do you take this woman to be your unlawfully wedded wife? Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish her? And gloat with her about how during its next season, Doctor Who will exceed the number of episodes of all the incarnations of Star Trek put together, so long as you both shall have broadband? By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Wait a minute, how's that going to work? How's he going to kiss her? You may now engage in phone sex on Skype with the bride. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing witness to this unique event. I'm available for funerals if anyone thinks that might be appropriate. Bar mitzvahs, anything you like, really. I've been Reverend Cornelius Blow, and this has been weird.
Well, that, yeah, as Ishmael says, that one is the closest of all the Church of Blows to like a classic sketch. It doesn't, you can pluck that from the series. You don't have to be familiar with anything else. It just works as a sketch. And I believe it's based on two real people who, again, from the Internet Movie Database message boards, there was a couple who, as with this couple, planned to get married without having met each other. Good luck to them. I don't know whatever happened. But, yeah, that's what that's based on. And, of course, when Ishmael sent me the script, he had no idea I was a Doctor Who fan. For all he knew, my reaction would be exactly like Cornelius's. I could have played it exactly the same way. I have no idea what that means. No, he never would have imagined. Of course, he can't stand Sylvester McCoy, but for me, so although Tom Baker is my favorite, Sylvester McCoy was the incumbent Doctor when I became a fan. I was 8 years old, so that would have been 1988. So so as soon as I read this, I was like, oh my god, it's like, I had no idea what the Bernie Bassett monster meant. I didn't realize that was the Candyman, because I didn't know what Bernie Bassett was. We didn't have that. So I didn't even know about that controversy that was some kind of copyright infringement. But anyway, yeah. So as soon as that came up, it was like, oh, you're a Doctor Who fan. Oh, and I was like, of course, he's from England. I mean, even if he's not a fan, then, you know, he's obviously familiar. But so that was wonderful. And yeah, no, he couldn't have predicted just how, not only that I was a fan, but just how obsessive, how deep that rabbit hole goes. Right. Well, we go from that. Oh, by the way, that you can see that really creepy painting in the background, which you'd seen bits of before. It's a painting of one of my relatives, I believe, from the Civil War. I forget who. That painting used to hang in my bedroom when I was a child. When I it was one of those times where, you know, when I was a kid, I had two older siblings, so our rooms shuffled around a lot. So when I wound up in this room where that painting was hanging, so before I eventually took it down, obviously, and made the room my own. But yeah, that painting used to hang in my bedroom, and it was fucking creepy as hell. And it's in that room because, once again, I'm in my dad's office in Portland, Maine. Same location that I started in. Okay, so we go from that one to Chutney. This is an episode that Ishmael has said he can never watch again because of something I told him about it, which I will reveal to you. Here we go. Chutney.
Hi, I'm Reverend Cornelius Blow. Come a little closer. Come on, just a little bit closer to the screen. Thanks, baby. Welcome to my church. You know, everyone in life has a purpose. Do you know what your purpose is? To achieve personal salvation. That's right. You ever notice how you always seem to have it a little harder than other people you know? And how you're built a little more sensitive than most? Yeah. Your life is full of trial, ain't it? That's just the cosmos's way of pushing you into finding the spiritual awareness you need to elevate your soul. The universe has to keep on reminding you to get back, get back, get back
To where you once belonged.
You're sometimes a bit like two people, ain't you? You got your public self, a little eccentric maybe, but likable, liked by most people. They may find you unusual from time to time.
I don't know for sure, but I think a lot of this is taken from an astrology reading. Am I right,
The one who's
Ishmael?
always asking the big questions. The one
Or something
who
similar.
doesn't fit into the world. The one who doesn't understand why you're here.
A lot of people thought I filmed this on a green screen,
Acting and pretending to fit into the world,
but
don't you?
I'm in front of the window.
Well, not with me, you don't. At the church below, you
I was
can be
trying
just
something
who
different.
you
I like to
are.
switch up the visuals.
You're a well-educated.
I probably
person,
should have just done this the
above
normal way
average
though.
Intelligence, but you ain't really satisfied when it comes to spiritual matters. You look high and wide for answers. Sometimes they're right under your nose. I see you can be indecisive at times. You can see so many angles on most issues, you don't know how to do or say. Sometimes you don't say or do nothing. And this can annoy some people, but you know that it's because they don't have your level of consciousness, your level of understanding of humanity. They ain't as intuitive as you are. You're a person with a lot to give to the world, but sometimes you feel like you don't get nothing in return, and you find that frustrating. You wonder how much more you can give to people before you find your reward. I know you. I can see right through you. You're an idealist. You're someone who believes every soul in this world is equal. And you have a hard time watching when other people don't treat each other right. You're a person who don't like chutney. Life can be hard when you're confronted with chutney, or when you're forced into having the same conversation over and over again. What do you mean you don't like chutney? I thought everyone liked chutney. What ain't there to like about chutney? I can feel your pain. I don't like chutney either. And I'm here to guide you on your quest to find answers to all the big questions.
I don't know if the slow pace worked.
I've been Reverend
Could have
Cornelius
sped that
Blow,
up a little bit.
and you've been very kind.
Alright, so I don't know why I did this, but I wasn't wearing anything in that video. Like I must have just had a shower and I said, fuck it, I'll set up the camera, I'll frame it so that it's just my head and I'm not gonna wear anything. I don't know why, and I guess I did it just so I could say that I wasn't wearing anything, even though I never really said it until now, and now I just feel like we should just forget that video exists. I'm sorry. And we move on to episode 16, Response to Crossmack. Oh boy.
I'm Reverend Cornelius Blow, and lately it's come to my attention that there's a rival church here on YouTube that's stealing away some of my potential subscribers. So I want to say a word or two to Reverend Crossmack and his followers so we can get things nice and clear. Reverend Crossmack, I just love his sermons. He's so intense and creepy. Well, that may be so. But just because you've read Catcher in the Rye once too many times, it don't make you a preacher. And if intense and creepy is what you want, I can be just as intense and creepy as Reverend Crossmack without having read nothing at all. Reverend Crossmack is so dreamy. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. Wouldn't do for me to comment on another man's looks. But to me, he has the kind of face you'll next see hanging out the window of a book depository with a rifle aimed at a cavalcade.
Well, we really went after him.
He held up in a compound in some hellish remote part of Texas with the FBI breaking the door in. See if he looks dreamy then. At least I'd have you held up in a compound in Alabama. Have you ever been to Texas? Weird place. Everyone talks with this stupid accent saying, "Howdy, y'all, I'm from Texas. Good to meet you." Dumbasses.
Oh boy.
Reverend Crossmack is so deep and wise. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's the people who seem to have all the answers who are in the need of the most guidance. Look at me. I don't have any answers. That's how you know I'm the genuine article. And that's why I'm making this intervention. You can call it tough love, without the love part, obviously. He's a man. I'm calling on you, Reverend Crossmack, to suspend your wrongful activities. I want you to disperse the Church of Crossmack with its falsehoods and its lies. You know in your heart already this ain't the right path. This ain't the way to your personal salvation for you or your disciples.
Is there a cut in there?
I'm asking you, Reverend Crossmack,
That was odd.
to join the Church of Blow. We'll have fun. Might even put a smile on your face so you can stop all that rock star pouting that you do. Who knows? I've been Reverend Cornelius Blow, and you've been the sinner, Reverend Crossmack.
Yes, well, there's a lot to say about this one. Okay, so Crossmack, that was Ian Crossland. He was a YouTuber who made kind of rambling, philosophical stoner videos, as I recall. I don't know. Like, I remember watching them because I had to do some research. I didn't, and as also, he's the one of all the people that we responded to. Pretty sure he's the only one who actually subscribed back. Like, as soon as we did this response, he subscribed back. Never commented. We never got his impressions of this. Oh yeah, and this is the one where I bashed Texas, and then some guy did a video response with a shotgun, saying, "Oh God, it's been so long." It's like saying, "So, would you call us down here in Texas dumbasses?" I don't appreciate being called dumbasses. My like, he just kind of went on this this whole thing. God, it's been so long. Yeah, that was weird. Oh boy, back when you could actually get video responses. So okay, so another thing that I'm remembering, there was a unproduced Bernard Smith sketch, which incidentally I still have most of those scripts, pretty much all of them except the finale, which, as I said, does not exist in any form that I'm aware of. But all the other scripts that I have, and when I get to those, like after I cover the Bernard videos, I could take out those scripts and I could read them and just do some kind of rudimentary reconstruction, just to give you an idea of what would have happened. And there was a sketch that had to do with like a Ian Crossland utopia. Of course, if we had ever gotten to that, we probably would have changed that title. We still could have used the sketch without it being specifically about him. But by the time we got to it, like, I don't think anyone knew who he was. I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do eventually. In fact, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be interesting to go over those sketches and show you what would have actually happened. We had some really good stuff, and you'll also realize why the series kind of, like as time went on, it was easy doing Church of Blow because I was only semi-employed at the time, so I had a lot of time, and also most of the videos only had me in them, so I could just fire through them. By the time it got to Bernard, a lot of the Bernard videos have me with another actor or more, and they transitioned from being videos where I'm addressing the camera to actual scenes. And then from the Coppola video onward, the camera just disappears and they're just it's just short films, and that was actually going to play out in an interesting way. So like as the gaps got wider, like, and I would make the videos whenever I had time or when I had a person. So sometimes like we'd have like floating episodes. We'd have the episodes that didn't have to go in the sequence, and so I could do them anytime. And I kind of burned through all of those, and so I'd have like, so the next video up would have to be one that actually continued the story, but it would, I don't know, too much time would pass. And I don't think, especially after YouTube Is My Life was a hit, we got a lot of new viewers, but I don't think a lot of them were really invested in the continuing narrative, and especially with the wider gaps, like they'd be confused. And so, you know, if I had come back in 2011 and it's an episode where Fishhook is calling me out on Bernard's Fred Savage gloating, you know, it just would have a lot of the threads that we were carrying would have been tougher to maintain. Oh god, I'm already, Apple TV's falling asleep. So yeah, but that's why. But it'll be interesting, like if I can actually cover the Bernard videos, and then I can show you what we would have done, and show you finally, because there's characters that we introduce that in my mind were always part of the series, but nobody knows. There's a character called Wolfchild. I won't say what what he does, but to me, Wolfchild is a huge part of Bernard, but nobody ever saw it, so like it doesn't exist in anyone's minds. Nobody's quoting Wolfchild, but now maybe they will. We'll see. I think it'll be worth it for the 50 or so people watching these. Okay, this is a good one. All right, so this next one, this falls in the category of petty revenge. Only in this case, this was Ishmael's, not mine.
Welcome to my church. As you had probably noticed, I am speaking to you from a new location. Again. You know, there are a lot of religions in the world. There's Zoroastrianism, Baha'i, Hinduism, Jainism, and those are just the ones I've never heard of, till I did some research on the internet this afternoon. That's a lot of religious text, a lot of scripture. I'll bet you could read nothing but scripture every day for the rest of your life and still not make it through all the religious writing there is in the world. That's why I don't bother. Just stick to the Doonesbury cartoon. Why start something you can't finish? It's a fool's errand. But do you know, there is one thing that all these religious texts, all these holy books have in common, except that they're all wrong. And that's that there ain't one of them that mentions landlords as any special kind of people. I think they also say we shouldn't kill each other, but that's not what I was researching, so I can't verify that for you at this minute. No, but there ain't none of these books that makes any kind of special reference to landlords whatsoever. Here at the Church of Blow, we're different. We're not afraid to speak out on social issues. We're a church that is in touch with real people. And we have something to say about private rented accommodation arrangements. Now, we don't say that all landlords are going straight to hell or anything like that. We just say that most landlords are going straight to hell. Kicking people out of their homes just because they're a little behind on their rent. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And all the little kiddies are crying, hiding behind daddy's sweet little patched up teddy bears by the one remaining ear, gazing their moon faces upward with their wide innocent eyes saying, "Daddy, why do we have to leave our pretty home? I like it here."
Well, honey, we have to leave because the big fat man with the big fat wallet tells us we gotta.
I hope you're happy with yourself, Mr. Landlord, as you cast your ominous shadow over them cowering children, forcing families to flee in the middle of the night so they won't have to cope with your pinched up face or your long outstretched hand saying, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
It's a very interesting performance.
Of course, I don't have a family, it's just me. But I don't like it. There's a special kind of hell awaiting unreasonable landlords, and if you are a member of that particular profession, you're gonna have to try extra hard to get into blow heaven. Just watch yourself is all I'm saying. And if someone tells you you'll get paid on Tuesday, when Leo gets back into town, you should at least give him the benefit of the doubt. Consider this me serving you notice on the repossession of your soul.
ADR.
I've been Reverend Cornelius Blow, and you've been very kind.
Yeah, there's some interesting movement in that. It's odd. It's like one of those weird, like, over-the-top Kubrick-style performances from me. I don't know the story behind that one. I just know that Ishmael wanted revenge against his landlord, or he was in a bad living situation. There's one coming up, which is my favorite in the revenge genre. It's very simple, and I think because of that, it's the best of that bunch. I'm gonna take a little break, and then maybe I'll continue. Yeah, I might even make some more tea. So that's it for this edition, and I'll see you soon.